Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. Real quick before we start this review, I want to thank huntingbow.com. That's hunting-bow.com for making this review possible. And also I want to tell you a little bit about the rewards program and a few things they got going on. If you order this crossbow that we're reviewing, the Browning 171, you'll receive an additional 6-pack of bolts free with this crossbow. It's a $60 value. You're going to get those for free from hunting-bow.com. They also have a new rewards program available. This new reward program, if you subscribe to it, if you become a part of this new rewards program, you'll get 5% back on the next purchase of products from huntingbow.com. And for joining, you'll get 200 points immediately. If you write a review on the product that you buy, you'll get 300 points on your next purchase. So be sure to check them out, hunting-bow.com. Again, additional 6-pack of bolts free on this Browning 171. If you join the rewards program, 5% off on your next purchase, 200 points just for joining, and 300 points for writing a review and getting on, or 300 points for writing a review toward your next purchase on hunting-bow.com. Now on to the review. Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. Here today to do a review on the new Browning 171 crossbow. Before we get started on the details and specs on this bow, I want to thank the guys over at huntingbow.com. We'll put their website below. Be sure to go down over there and check out all the cool stuff they got. That is hunting-bow.com, and they are the ones who made this review possible. So let's get right into it. This is the new Browning 171. This is a very, very cool crossbow. Had a lot of fun testing this thing out, a lot of fun shooting this thing. Is absolutely a blast to shoot. Great shooting crossbow. So some of the features on this thing. This one has an aluminum riser. Last year's model had a magnesium riser, so this one is a little bit lighter than last year's model. This one is 7.2 pounds bare. Now that's bare with nothing on it. Once you add the quiver, the arrows, the scope, you get it up to about 9 pounds, which is pretty light in the crossbow world. Got your stirrup on the front here. Got a suppression system, string suppressor right there to dampen your vibration. It's got the thumb blocks right here, like every crossbow should have. It's got a nicely designed, really comfortable stock. On the back here, you can flip that open, and you can actually put your cranking device right there into that. And it has a really cool built-in way of cocking this back with your rope cocker. It's a little bit unique compared to some of the other crossbows that I've seen. So we'll get into that when we get over and do a little bit of shooting on it. But so we'll talk about a little bit more about this before we do that. This has the mossy oak camo pattern on it. It's decked out with gold accessories. We've got a gold trigger on here, gold on the side. So pretty cool looking there. Gold letters on the front. So very cool looking crossbow. This is got a rubberized spots in it. It's got a rubberized sides here to keep your fingers out. The palm right here where you rest your hand on there is rubberized. Of course, back here around where you're going to grip your rear stock is rubberized as well. So that's just going to help absorb a little bit of vibration. Now this has a Trigger Tech trigger in it, and crossbow triggers just aren't really that great because of the tension that's on them and the way that they activate the shot. But this is actually a really nice crisp trigger, and one of the closer triggers to a rifle trigger that I've ever felt. This has about a 3 to 3.5 pound pull on it. Whenever we tested it out with our weight, our scale, we got anywhere from 3 to 3.5 pounds. So really, really nice trigger, and especially for a crossbow. Crossbows are generally known for having really, really bad triggers on it. So this one's got a really nice trigger on it. This has 170 pound limbs on it. This one is with the arrows that are included. Should reach about 390 feet per second, which will get the chronograph out, and we'll do a little bit of shooting it through the chronograph. If this thing will hit that 390 feet per second, this one should put out about 135 foot-pounds of kinetic energy, which is amazing. That kind of kinetic energy. I can shoot plumb through a deer and drive my arrow into the ground on the other side with my compound bow, and my compound bow is only putting out about 70 to 75 foot-pounds of kinetic energy. So that is an amazing amount of kinetic energy that this thing is putting out. This has an anti-dry firing system in it. When you pull the rope back, it has a device in here that will not let you push the trigger without the bolt in here. This has a knock sensor on it, which actually you cannot, without the bolt in here, you cannot even take this thing off of safety. So that's a really cool design there as well. Now the safety on this thing is ambidextrous. You got it on the right and on the left, so for both shooters. This has a quad rail on the front. It has a Picatinny rail. You got a Picatinny rail on the left, you got a Picatinny rail on the right, and you got a Picatinny rail underneath. So that's another really nice feature of it. It's got a comfort grip. It's called a comfort ledge palm rest up on the front here, and you can see here it's got a really nice swell to it. It feels like a big, thick, heavy, or a bigger, thicker rifle stock. So, and I always like that because I hated rifle stocks that are really narrow. I always like a little bit beefier rifle stock, and this has it. It also has a little bit of padding underneath to a little bit of grip to that as well, so when your hands are sweating and you got that big bucket in front of you, you'll have that grip. And I just really like it. My fingers wrap right around it, my thumb falls right in there. It just is a really nice comfortable grip on the front of this thing. So that is pretty much it. And for the features of this crossbow, it's got a really short axle to axle on here. Draw cycle on it, you know, drawing this thing out, even though it's 170 pounds, is really not too bad at all, and it shoots fantastic. Balance is great, and it's just extremely accurate and shoots out really well. I'll talk about some of the things that come on this thing. This is a Cross 1.5 by 32 scope. This is an illuminated scope, and it is a crossbow scope, and it has your speed settings on here. So whatever your speed settings are, you can set this to your speed setting. You should be dialed in for your different yardage. This also comes with a quiver and 3 bolts and fill tips. I really like the quiver on this thing. Not only does it attach nice and easy, it comes off nice and easy, and it's a really good quality quiver. Most of these crossbows come with just junk quivers, but this one is a really pretty good quality quiver. So generally I shoot my crossbows without the quiver, so that's what we're going to do. We'll run over here, set up the chronograph, and we'll shoot it through the chronograph a couple times, see what kind of speeds we can get out of it. Then we'll step back here and we'll just do a little bit of shooting with it and let you guys see and hear this thing and see how well it shoots. Alright, speed test on the Browning 171 with factory bolts. .383 feet per second. That's pretty good. That is really good. Okay, so before we get started here, I want to show you guys how this rope cocking device works. This is a little bit different than some of the others any of the others I've seen in the market. We got a groove right back here in the back that your rope's going to go into, which I really like. It's a big deep groove, so we don't have to worry about it slipping out. Now, on the side here, you're going to see there's a little notch right there, and in that notch, you're going to put this piece right here, which I've got it backwards right now, but we're going to flip it around real quick. So, back in our notch on the back, you got your notch right there, and you can see on your rope cocking device, you got a cradle right here, and you got a stud coming out. This stud is going to go right into that notch. It's going to slide right down this channel all the way to your rope, to your string, and then it's going to go in right there. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Slide them both right down there and hook them up to our string. Now, as we pull this back, these are not going to be allowed to move. On some other crossbows, those things can move around. That channel is going to keep them straight. It's going to keep them pulling straight. To me, it makes it easier to pull it back because you don't have to worry about it coming out of the groove. You don't have to worry about it twisting or getting caught up or anything like that. So it slides right along that channel all the way back until it's engaged, and then you just pop them off, run them right back to that groove, and they're gone. They're out, and you're ready to shoot. So that's all. That's their the way they do their rope cocking, or the way their rope cocking device works, and it works really nice, really slick. Okay, so now we got this thing cocked. I'm going to check out a couple of the safety measures. It's cocked, but it has no bolt in it, and you can see the safety will not come off. Take a chance here, and I'm going to pull the trigger. Trigger will not engage. So the safeties on this are really nice. I like that a lot for a crossbow that I can hand to my wife, I can hand to my son, I can hand to someone at deer camp and say, here you go, and if they do something, you know, something with it, make a mistake with it, it's going to lower the chances of it dry firing and lower the chances of it hurting somebody. So I really like the safety features on this thing. ambidextrous safety on here. Really nice scope, but the thing just balances out fantastic. The shoulder's great as well too. It's just really comfortable link of pull for me, and the trigger is fantastic. Nice crisp trigger. I have a very minimal pin float with this thing, just like on your bow or your rifle. Very minimal float with this thing, and that's because it's so well balanced out. The trigger on there, just nice crisp trigger for a crossbow. It's fantastic. And you saw in the shot, a little bit of noise, but for a crossbow, really not that bad, especially for one that's pushing a bolt 383 feet per second. I mean, it is absolutely plowing through every target that I've got. I've got 3 targets lined up down there right now, and I can't even see the knock on my bolt because it's pushing them right through it. So fantastic speeds out of this thing. Kinetic energy is great. 383 feet per second too. When we did that, of course, we shot multiple arrows through there. We got 383 was the lowest one we got, and that's why we showed you that one. We also got 385 and even 387 on a couple of them, so it's really close to that 390 mark that they've given this thing. But it's really nice, lightweight, well balanced crossbow, and it's absolutely a blast to shoot. I'm gonna cock it one more time and take one more shot. One of the other things I like about this crossbow before I get to cocking it is it's a small detail, but it's small details that make a big difference in a lot of these things. The foot stirrup on here is rubberized around it, so if you're loading this in a tree stand, you're not going to be metal to metal like some of the other crossbows that I've shot. It's going to actually be quite a bit quieter with that rubber on there. So I'll get my rope all untangled here. Now, like any cocking device like this does have to be facing a certain direction. So practice, get used to, orienting this thing. I actually, on my other crossbow, and I'll probably do it with this one, I painted one of the handles, and I painted it green, and the green one was for my right hand. So it's a good idea to do that, just so you'll know which one goes on your right hand side and which one goes on your left hand side. So it'll be easier for you in a hunting situation to get this thing reloaded, really quickly. So I'll fire one more bolt out of this thing here, just to show you guys. Again, safety is on, safety is ambidextrous. Very comfortable gun. I love the padded front. The grip on the front is just fantastic. I absolutely love that. So that is the new Browning 171. Fantastic crossbow. Just an absolute dream to shoot. Super fun to shoot. Kinetic energy out of this thing and speed out of this thing are going to be awesome. For first-time hunters, for kids, for my wife, this thing's going to be fantastic. And the advantage of the crossbow, especially in places like Missouri where it's legal for all-around archery season, whether you're for it or against it, the great thing about this is I can have my nephew come up, I can have my brother come up, I can go to deer camp, I can take this crossbow with me in any situation like that, pretty much throw a target out there and teach them how to shoot it within 5 to 10 minutes, and we can go to the woods and we can go hunting. So it's a very easy tool to use, and this one is very accurate, very forgiving, and I mean just wads arrows at 20 yards. It's got a great kit with it, it's got a great setup to it, and it is super fun to shoot, and it's well balanced, and it's really quiet, which are the keys to a good performing crossbow. So check this out at huntingbow.com. We'll put their website below. That is hunting-bow.com, and this is the Browning 171. So for more product reviews, how-to videos, check out our website, ikesoutdoors.com, and be sure to check us out on Facebook. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. Appreciate you guys watching.